everyone, you're watching Player Review Team Channel. Today we're going to share the formation we've been using lately, we'll talk about its strengths and weaknesses and more. This video is packed and will be interesting even if you're not planning to switch from your favorite 4-2-1-3. So make sure to watch it till the end, you're guaranteed to learn something new. We're giving away 25 million coins and 5 weekend league boosts over the next 4 months while FC25 is still active. All links in the description. So, we're using the 4-3-1-2 with completely default role settings. The only tweak we make is setting the build-up style to counterattack and the defensive line to 95 for maximum pressure. But to start off, try it at 70. The core idea of this setup is having 3 box-to-box midfielders who are actively involved in both attack and defense. They need to be all-rounders, able to score, win the ball back, and deliver quality passes. As for the strikers, it's best to use advanced forwards. We recommend keeping the cam in a playmaker role, and ideally, he should also be able to win the ball back because he'll often rotate positions with the central box-to-box midfielder. The 2 fullbacks play on balance instructions to provide moderate width. It's best to use more agile players in those positions. You can find the tactic code on screen and in the video description. So let's not drag it out, let's break down the gameplay. As you know, counterattack means quickly transitioning after winning the ball. So don't hold on to the ball with one player too long. Try to play in 1 or 2 touches. That doesn't mean constantly spamming the pass button. Just keep an eye on your teammates' runs and make sure to reward them with a pass. Keep forming triangles and don't forget to play backward as well as forward. You need to get used to constantly scanning for teammates and reacting in time to their runs, especially those that don't require you to trigger them manually with L1. Use 1-2s more often. First, it enhances the counter-attacking potential of this setup. Second, use 1-2s with your pair of strikers, it always works well. One of the main benefits of counterattack is the automatic aggressive runs, and if your opponent randomly pulls a central defender out, like in this clip, they'll have very little chance to recover. But again, you must train yourself to see these runs. By the way, we play using the co-op camera, with the first 3 camera settings at 10, 20 and 15. Give it a try. Still, even with the counterattack setup, your fullbacks won't make overly aggressive runs, they'll only support down the flanks. So don't forget to manually trigger them with L1 from time to time. That'll help stretch the width. When playing out from the back, always look to pass to your wide defender first, then find a central player to link up with. As you'll see, your wide box-to-box midfielders will often drift into the half space during build-up. That's why you want quick and strong players in those spots with a solid shot. You can manually trigger them using L1. Play incisive passes in behind and square it to oncoming strikers or box-to-box midfielders. Your central box-to-box is essentially the key figure. In our case, it's Gullit. You'll constantly build attacks through him, so pinged passes or incisive passes are essential. He'll also frequently arrive late in the box and scoop up rebounds. Use the most meta card you've got for this spot. He should also have a solid long shot, ideally 5-star weak foot with finesse or at least Trivela. Remember, Trivela doesn't require the trait to trigger. The main issue with this setup, as with any other, is when your opponent sits in a low block and you end up dancing around the box searching for an opening. So not just the cam, but the whole box-to-box trio needs strong long shots, ideally gold tier finesse, if that's your thing. Also, we recommend players with gold tier long balls, especially the left and right box-to-box midfielders. That's key for quality switches to your fullbacks and stretching the opponent with width. Players with a gold triangle also work well, like in this clip with Bellingham playing a long ball to Theo. Then we send Theo on a run, return the ball, and find the striker in the box. From there, a quick pass or finesse does the trick. We generally recommend using 1-2s with fullbacks more often. Yes, it's risky and can get intercepted, but it makes your build-up easier in this formation. Not all opponents will allow you to attack quickly through the middle. What kind of fullbacks should you use? For fast breakouts, go with players who have the lengthy acceleration. For build-up and passing, someone more agile with incisive passing and so on. But overall, agile fullbacks are more effective. For example, we use Theo and Dumfries, but they're both quite heavy and lack quality passing, so they rarely join the attack. And yes, attacking through the middle is tough, but possible, especially when you've got numbers forward and the opponent is focused on your strikers, leaving your box-to-box midfielders space to shoot. Defensively, your central box-to-box often positions himself higher than your playmaker cam. Like here, Gullit is upfield and Insigne is sitting deeper. That's why we recommend picking a cam like Modric or De Bruyne who have solid defensive stats and intercept. Here's a great example of a counterattack and the value of box-to-box players. Insignia collects the ball deep, Gullit bursts forward into his zone, and there's a prep pass to Sawa to drag away a pressing defender, then a pass to Gullit. Even before receiving, our advanced forwards are scanning for runs, which makes life easier since the opponent doesn't know who to cover. That's why we love counterattack. Naturally, with counterattack, you can't afford to get intercepted. Any mistake could lead to a dangerous chance for your opponent. That said, we wouldn't say it's hard to defend with this formation. The midfield trio often gets support from the cam, who you can manually pull back into central or half-space areas. Still, this is not a defensive setup, but it does help you score more, at least more than your opponent. That said, this formation takes time to get used to. There are some drawbacks. At times, you'll feel short on width. In those moments, be sure to trigger your wide defenders more often. You might also feel like the midfield is too congested, but that's only until you get used to quick passing and start reading your teammates' positioning better. Play backward more often. Yes, the counterattack setup implies counterattacking, who would have thought, but that doesn't mean you should always force the ball forward. Sometimes it's better to hold on to it and wait for your runners to reset. It helps you unbalance the opponent. Of course, this setup is far from perfect, and we know that, but if it grabs your interest, try experimenting with different roles or a different build-up style until you find something that suits you. We understand that 4-2-1-3 is the top tier meta this year, but honestly, it's become a bit tiresome. Literally, every opponent is using 4-2-1-3, and the lack of creativity is disappointing. Share your unconventional setups in the comments. Let us know your playstyle and which roles you use. We'd love to read them. Also, let us know how this setup worked out for you, what you liked and what you didn't. And please don't forget to support our videos with a like and subscribe. It really helps us release more content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.